Hello, my name is Cole Smith. I'm doing current event summary number 10. The question for this week is, how does loading/unloading time impact carrier pricing, and how would I fix it? So loading and unloading time has a big impact for several reasons. Probably the biggest one is time is money. The longer you spend unloading, loading, basically anything that's not driving or maintenance on your truck, then you're losing money because they're usually paid by the mile, not by the hour. So anytime you're not moving forward, you're losing money. Like a lack of efficiency, or just a driver that's just going out for a Sunday stroll every day of the week is is going to drive your profits down and your cost up. And speaking of cost, increased operating costs. If your truck is just sitting in a lot with the engine running and you're not running the APU, then you're wasting gas. You're wasting money, basically. That gas is just going to waste. So the more time that your truck is spent idle with the engine on, it's going to use more fuel, and that doesn't even account for gas prices. So if gas prices are super high, then filling up a truck is going to be mind-boggling, the number that's going to show up on the gas pump. Sometimes to offset the risk of long delays, carriers often charge detention fees. It's basically like a late fee, essentially. If delays are common, carriers may also raise their rates. It's basically like how insurance companies work. If you have a lot of car crashes, they're going to raise your rates because you're a higher risk. So if you're constantly late to your deliveries, then the people you're delivering to will charge you a higher rate because they know that there's a high likelihood that they're going to have to wait longer. So, and the last reason is just driver frustration and turnover. We're all humans, and unless you're weird, then you don't like to just sit there and wait for stuff to happen. Just sitting there, standing there, sitting there. Even phone games can get tiring after a while, so the more time they're spent idle, the more frustrated the driver will get, and in turn, the higher your turnover will be. So a couple ways to fix it. You could set a clear appointment schedules. Just have a very set schedule. Make sure you stay on it. Make sure everybody that you're over stays on it. Stuff like that. Use drop and hook systems. So instead of waiting for live loading, carriers can drop full trailers and pick up preloaded ones. So just like doing your work before they get there, so they can just drop it off, pick it up, and go. You can improve communication technology. So like how Apple Maps has that little thing where it shows that a certain route is under heavy traffic or something, or if there's a wreck. The more that communication technology is improved, the better your efficiency can be on the road. And you could charge detention fees, obviously. I talked about that already. You could reward efficient facilities. It's kind of the vice versa of what I talked about earlier. If a carrier is super on time or even early all the time, and you're super confident that they're going to be there when you need it, with how much you need, then you can charge them lower rates, which would in turn incentivize the drivers not the drivers, like the company that resides over the drivers, to choose your company. And it's also like sort of a reward, like you've done us good, so here you go. And just on-site improvements, not hiring goofballs, change the schedule around to better fit your peak hours, improvements to your docking, all that stuff would help the efficiency. In short, longer loading times increase carrier costs, and they lead to higher freight rates. So you should schedule to your best of your ability, you should communicate to the best of your ability, and you should compensate fairly. So that's my 5 minutes. Thank you for listening, and have a good day.